I've got students that graduated here 25 years ago that told me he was bullied then. Autism is a struggle for all kids and parents. That is the easiest struggle that kid has had in his life. His father died 9 years ago, the same time his mother was stricken with Alzheimer's. She is now put in a home since 2006. The taxes on the house can't be paid because the jobs have been lost and drug addiction in the home. He is the kid that tells me, I gotta pay the taxes. I got to him and I helped him and we got it down to ground zero, turned it back over, and now it's up to $27,000. He's gonna lose his home. He's been getting bullied, he's been crying out for help. I'm the first one to take blame here, okay? On July 25th, he stood in front of that 7-Eleven and he was bullied. The kids called the word basement. Everybody has heard the word basement and heard the rumor about Mel in the basement. Here's the news of today. It's a rumor, it's not true. He was never ever sexually assaulted in any basement in his life. And then they cursed at him. He doesn't like to be cursed at. And then they told him nobody likes him. That hurt him. He left that area. He walked to the school and was coming over the footbridge and he ran into 4 kids or 3 kids that he knew. And they were upset for him. They felt for him. And they asked him, Mel, what's wrong? And he went into one of his meltdowns. And a meltdown that he said very horrific things. He was wrong to say it. And if you ask him today, he'll apologize 20 times. He wants that second chance. When Mel turned around, that was taped, and those kids did a good thing. They turned it over to their parents, which did the right thing and turned it over to the school district. I stand by the school district's decision. I was there when Mel was brought in. Well, I wasn't there. Let me back that up. Mel was brought in to the superintendent and a couple of the other members of the board, of the school. They convinced him that the autistic child, by the way, they convinced him that he should go see a doctor and is part of routine care. Okay, I'm good with that. They put him in an ambulance and they drove him to the psych ward in NCMC.
Oh my God.
They didn't call his sister or his brother to tell them that they did this. Nobody called to tell them that Mel was in a hospital. My phone rang and it went like this. I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. It's an emergency. It's emergent. I go, calm down. What's the problem? I'm in a hospital. Are you hurt? No, I'm not hurt. I'm not hurt. What's wrong, Mel? He goes, I said something. They say I said something. I said, what did you say? I don't know what I said, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Just please come get me. I said, where are you in the hospital? And he goes, Area 4. I know what Area 4 is. I've been a policeman for 29 years. I said, Mel, whatever you do, don't say another word. I'm on my way. I got there and I got into that room. And people walking around in their robes talking to themselves. And I looked into the corner. And there was my friend who was rocking back and forth, very upset. For the first time I've ever seen him that upset, so nervous for what is happening to him. I went up to the nurse who was wonderful and she said to me, Mel's here because he did something and said something wrong at the school. He made some outbursts. They said he has anger issues. I said, Mel's not angry. He's autistic. He has outbreaks. He has meltdowns. She turned around and the doctor said, well, he has to stay the night. I said, Doc, he ain't staying the night. And he goes, oh no, we'll give him his medication. I said, Mel is not medicated. He's never taken medicine in his life. Oh, well then we'll give him some. I said, you're not giving him anything. He's coming home with me. And they turned around. No, he has to say it. I said, well, then you better go shopping. And he looked at me and said, what do you mean? I said, Mel is autistic. He knows what he wants, when he wants. At 6:30 tonight, he's going to be looking for his canned raviolis, his fruit punch, and his 4 double-stuffed Oreos. And everybody knows he loves his double-stuffed Oreos. At that point, the doctor realized he let him come home with me. I brought Mel home. We stopped by the school, reported the next morning to speak to the superintendent. And I'm going to tell you, he was kind, was generous to Mel. He was really looking out for his interest. And I don't hold him or anybody here doing what they had to do. And they told me they have a process that he has to be suspended. And I understood that. And I explained that to Mel. He apologized, shook the hand, and walked outside. We then went through the weekend, and the dates, I believe it was Tuesday or Wednesday, I received a call at work from Mr. Spagnoli. He says, I have to see Mel right away. He's not going to get his job back. We have to fire him. I said, I'm at work. I can't be there. He says, I'll reach out to Father Greg. He was doing the right thing. Father Greg wasn't around. And for whatever the reasons are, and I don't know the rules and the policies that sit in this board, but I do know the $47 for lunch we argued about earlier, Mel could really use right now. Right? They brought Mel in by himself, the autistic person again, and they fired him by himself. And they turned open the door and sent him out to the streets of Wantagh. Manny Nash, again, nobody was called. Manny Nash, one of my detectives, went and found him. He brought him to his porch and he calmed him down. He was worried he got fired. He came the next day to the board meeting again. Ralph Spagnola brought him here. Ralph Spagnola pleaded to the board. They came out. They fired him again. Mel's the only person I know who's been suspended and fired twice and won 3 times not to come on this property like he was some kind of axe murderer. The next day he received a letter that said, turn your keys in, you've been terminated, and you're no longer allowed on school property, and you're not allowed to call any members from the school board to discuss this matter.
They're real nice.
This is what Mel said to me. Does this mean I'm going to miss homecoming? Okay. Mel, the school did the right thing 5 years and 2 months ago. They gave Mel a job. That job that they gave him paid $329 after taxes every 2 weeks, and Mel will tell you to the penny. He used that money to pay his electric, his gas, and his heat. He paid for his cell phone, and he fed himself out of that. And then, everyone in this community gave him clothes, put clothes on his back, and handed him money and free meals all the time. Because we look out for each other. That's what we do. He turned around.
Not them. Not right. Not them.
Well, he turned around, and he was upset. That job meant everything to him. It was the dream job. He can wave to the kids, say hello, ask them their birthday. He probably knows everybody's birthday this week. I was asked by an individual who's in this room and says, what do you intend to get here? Where do you think we're going to it? And I said, I asked Mel the question. Mel says, I don't want anybody punished. I don't want anybody to get in trouble. I'm sorry. I just want my job back. That's all he wants is his job back. I moved to this town 21 years ago to raise my children. It is a great school district. You've done a great job. You raised our children wonderful. That decision was made for all your children. I agree with that. But the decision to fire somebody without knowing all the facts, without knowing all the bullying that occurred, without taking everything into consideration. By the way, I don't know if I said it, he is autistic, okay? Without taking all that into consideration, that was a mistake, okay? Mel, for years, should have had something put into place by us, the community, the school, the educators, where we look after somebody like him, a support system that takes care of you. It was on autism, and I titled it Mel. This kid means so much to us and the community. Tonight is the night that we stand together. Only Mel can bring all of these people to one room. Only Mel can get everybody to fight for the same cause. Mel, who fought and walks up and down, yells at everybody, vote yes for that school budget. Vote yes for that school budget. And when they voted it down in the SOS and the volunteers came by, he was in my truck every day. Where are we going? We got to go pick up water. We got to do this for the SOS. And Mel was there. He believes in these teachers. He believes in this institution. He believes in this community. He wants them to stand behind it. We today can make the difference by starting, whether it be a foundation, a program, a support system, or whatever it is, and become the model for the state of New York as the best education system and the best community in the country, and turn this thing around and give Mel his job back.